When you want only the best for your pet, check out AbbybellPetDesigns.com. We offer quality products such as floppy beds, crate pads, round pet beds, pillow slip covers, belly bands, and more. All products come in a variety of colors and sizes, guaranteed to satisfy your pet's particular style. Your pet deserves to be pampered, so shop at AbbybellPetDesigns.com. If you don't see the item you want listed in our shop, just drop us a line and we'll be glad to make the product of your pet's dreams. AbbybellPetDesigns.com.
And now,
Good morning,
it's time.
everyone. How are you? Hey, Gerundo, how are you? Good to see you. Alan, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Come on in. Thank you for sharing. Hey, Daniel, golf man. It's Junior. Hey, Junior. Sorry, your name went so fast. Thank you for telling me who you are again. I'll get used to it when I see you a lot. Hey, Carmen. Hey, Lynn. Good to see you. Takes a while. It just does. So I'm sorry. Good morning, Noelle. Hello, hello. Hey, Jules. Mary Ann. Wayne. Wow, everybody's like coming in so fast. I am not awake on this Thursday morning. Can you tell? Hey, how are you? James, good morning. Happy birthday to our Flotus. Couldn't find you yesterday. I know, Jules, I was off yesterday. Wednesday's my day off. Good morning. I was watching some of the hearings going on right now. I know, Junior, I watched a few minutes of it. It's the same old, bashing. Why bother? Hey, Cully. Hey, Wendell. Good to see you. Thank you for sharing. I wanted to show you a couple of things. Glad it wasn't. I know. Jules, although I did post something yesterday about Acosta, could not find it on my PC, found it on my phone, and then I posted the image of the phone onto the PC and said, how come I can't see this, Jack? What's up with this? And just a little while later, I did find it. Hey, Casa, how are you? Oh, Patrick, how are you? Good to see you. I wanted to show you some things really quickly here. A new thing that we have for Abby Bell Pet Designs. This is, I don't know if you can tell, but it's really a really beautiful purple. This is one of the cuddle pouches. It's lined with white lining, very, very soft lining. Has the little bow that goes with it. That's the latest. I know, it is beautiful. Oops, sorry, Junior. Hold 1 second. There we go. Yeah, Junior, it's at AbbybellPetDesigns.com if anybody would like to purchase it. This is another one we have. It's a mint green with the little pink and lavender and white hearts. This has pink lining, a very soft material. For dogs and cats who really love to go in and snuggle, this gives them their own place to go in and snuggle so they won't have to go underneath the covers. They have their own little cuddle pouch to go into. It's kind of almost like a sleeping bag or something. But anyway, if you're interested, and now I have it all over me, these are the two cuddle pouches that are available at AbbybellPetDesigns.com. If you don't see the color you like, I can make the color you like. I will text you some colors put together, find out what you like, and then you can choose the fabric that you want. Good morning, Rhonda. 1 second, we put this over here. Glenn had unexpected call, second interview yesterday. Rhonda, we have prayers and our fingers crossed for you. Hello, Teresa. All right, so as you're coming in, let me read really quickly from Proverbs, and then we'll get started. When a wicked man dies, his expectation will perish, and the hope of the unjust perishes. The righteous is delivered from trouble, and it comes to the wicked instead. The hypocrite with his mouth destroys his neighbor, but through knowledge the righteous will be delivered. When it goes well with the righteous, the city rejoices, and when the wicked perish, there is jubilation. By the blessing of the upright, the city is exalted, but it is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked. He who is devoid of wisdom despises his neighbor, but a man of understanding holds his peace. So we'll stop right there. Boy, isn't that all true? Speaking of evil and destroying somebody and being very wicked. Good morning, Letitia. I think that we can see. Hey, Lisa. We can see what happened with Ronnie Jackson. I wrote an article last night. It's still pretty valid if you want to still see it. He withdrew his name. Yeah, that too, Junior. I didn't want to mention her name, but yeah. Um, Listens to God Views on Google Play. Ooh, I didn't see the rest of it. Hope you liked it. Uh, the article at SusanKnowles.com talks about the evil, the character assassination in the public forum. Hey, Lee, good to see you. Hey, Josette, America's future top pet designer, and blessed morning. Love your creations. God bless your hands. Thank you, Josette. Sad for the Admiral. I mean, talk about running somebody through the mud, destroying what I'm not even sure about the career that he has now, if they're going to be able to keep it. Here's a guy who was vetted 4 times, once by the FBI. Hey, Bree, is it Bree? Good to see you. So hard to read this thing. Next, he will resign. Yeah, probably, Marianne. Because I could listen and work at the same time. Oh, good, Brandon. Thank you. I'm glad that you listened. Thanks so much for listening to God's Views on Political News. Yeah, so here's what I have to say. If they were saying he was called the Candy Man and everything else. Well, if he was the Candy Man and called that, are you for real? I am real. He was called the Candy Man, but he worked for Obama. He worked for Bush. Dems didn't care when he was Obama's doctor. Absolutely not. Obama gave him a glowing review. Excellent guy, great addition to the White House, blah, blah, blah. Yet he's supposedly the candy man. So if he's the candy man, who was he giving candy to at the White House when Obama was president? I'm just asking. So, again, either our investigations, the Admiral is a smart man, decided not to be sucked into the swamp. I know, Patrick. Well, he had to save whatever dignity he had left. I mean, hey, Marlene. I mean, just so amazing that now if the Democrats want you out, they just start doing character assassination. They don't give you the sources. They don't say who it is that told them all this. It's just former workers. Well, I tell you one thing. I was talking to some veterans about him and saying, what do you think about him? And the veterans were saying, just like those Islamic majority nations on the ban list was Barry's list. That's right, Brandon. But the veterans were saying, give him an opportunity. This looks like just a way to hurt him, slander his name. Give him an opportunity. They never had any proof. But did you see in my article, it gives you the Washington Post, who took the list from the Senate committee for the VA, made up of all Democrats that provided this list to the Washington Post, and just gave all kinds of information. And then at the end said, we're going to wait on his confirmation hearing. We're going to postpone it. Because, again, of course, they have a vacation coming up, another week off at the end of this week. And they were going to wait until they had more information. Good morning, Alexis. But apparently they didn't wait. It would have been great, from sources. Another vacation, Junior. Another vacation. But it would have been better for them to have waited, get the information together, have him go before a hearing, and have him deny or, say, yeah, I did those things. But they didn't want to do that. They didn't want to wait. It was character assassination in the public, which they're very good at doing. They'll take down anyone to hurt Trump, no matter who it hurts. That's right, Lisa. I'd like all that paid time off. I know. It would, seriously, you don't work and then you expect to get paid. That's what they do. That's who they are. So, yeah, it is pretty amazing. So again, he's gone. I don't know what he's going to do at the White House. Eventually, are they going to get him out of the White House? Now, the thing of it is my article talks about, basically, they were mad at him for giving the president a clean bill of health, especially a clean bill of health when it comes to his mental abilities. Josette said, yes, POTUS was on Fox and Friends this morning, called out Tester, who called the good doc a candy man, is going to have a hard time being reelected in Montana. I hope so, Josette. Hope so, but he is a Democrat, so we'll see. But, hey, Don, good to see you. But again, here's this guy who they were getting back at for not giving them what they wanted. And then what they wanted was for the doctor to say he's not fit physically or mentally to be president. And when he didn't do that, it's like, okay, what are we going to do? And did you notice, I don't know if you remember this. Hey, Teresa, I see you coming back. I don't know if you remember this, but when the doctor said during the hearing, he gives the president something to sleep and something kind of to wake up with when he takes long trips. And did you notice they used that in why they called him the Candy Man? So it's to say, well, look, he did this over here at the VA. He's the Candy Man over here at the White House. It's kind of like, that's what's wrong with the president. That's why he says such crazy things. That's the implication. If he was the candy man, then Obama must have benefited from it as well. That's exactly what I said a few minutes ago, Brandon. Got to be honest, nothing surprises me anymore. Absolutely, Lee. That press conference, the media went nuts with the doctor. They absolutely did. They were mad at every single thing that doctor said because everything he said was positive towards the president. Let there be a backlash from the spirit vindicate, oh Lord. Absolutely, Alexis. Absolutely. These people, again, here's what gets me about these people. And when I say these people, I mean the progressive left Democrats. Not just the everyday Democrats, but the progressive left elitists. They bring out the fact, for example, that Stormy Daniels, she had an affair with the president and all that. These are the same people that champion the fact that people have extramarital affairs, that they, they socialize young children to have sex. These are the people. These are the champions of behavior like that. But what they do is they know the evangelicals are against it, so they use it against them. They turn it into a weapon. But I'll tell you what, these are the same people paying to go see people like Stormy Daniels and loving people like her. So don't give me this higher than mighty, oh my gosh, he had an affair. Are you kidding me? Stormy showed up at a strip club here in Vegas last night. Ugh. I'm sure she was welcomed and cheered and everything else. Oh, it's Stormy, a pornographer, Oh, God, Lord. So it's amazing, but it's the hypocrisy at an all-time high. Yeah, Mom of the Year. Wow. Yep, absolutely. Undeniable 101. But it is amazing. Again, these are the same people that push sex on your children at a very young age and think that's perfectly fine. Let her name be forgotten and rejected. Yep. The left love the Kardashians and Hooker Daniels. Yep. They do. They absolutely do. I mean, I don't think that they're in the same category, but they're in the same category in that, the lifestyle is promiscuous, let's say, especially for the Kardashians and some of them. And again, it's behavior that they champion, and they don't like the biblical principles. So, it's, what can you say? And we sit there and go, oh yeah, Stormy Daniels, you're so great. And I'm sure these same people will go out and buy Penthouse when she comes out on the cover of Penthouse, nude and wrapped in the American flag. And why is she wrapped in the American flag? Because, oh, she's an American hero. She's trying to bring down the president as she tries to save her failing career. So, it's just hypocrisy. It really is. Also, in other news, today is Melania Trump, our First Lady's birthday. Yeah, she is just out to make money, Marianne. That's it. What a disgrace to our country. Absolutely, Teresa. The whole thing, just the whole principles that are going on is total disgrace to our country. And who are you going to get now for the VA secretary? Who would it be that they would be okay with having the VA secretary? Remember, these are the same people, the Democrats, who basically voted all no for Pompeo. Yet they can vote all yes for John Kerry and Hillary Clinton. So who now are they going to want to represent veterans in the VA? Did you hear about Kanye West supporting MAGA and lost several followers? You know, Daniel, he lost supposedly 7 million followers in 24 hours. No, they don't. They haven't suggested anybody that I know. I don't know who it could be. I mean, you know, I I think they've tried in the past to have people who weren't in the military. The ones in the military, I don't know how well they worked out when they were the VA secretary, but it couldn't be any worse than Shinseki. You remember him under Obama and the other people under Obama running the VA. Hey, Tammy, who would you suggest that should run the VA? We're talking about the VA secretary. But McConnell can put a stop to Democratic obstructing. Yes, he can. He certainly can. If he weren't a rhino himself, he sure could. He doesn't want to, bottom line. But gained a bunch of respect. Yeah, that one Democrat got respect for doing the right thing on Pompeo. But I mean, it's a shame that they can't give Pompeo, that not one Democrat thought he should go forward when he was confirmed as the CIA director. If he was so bad, why did you confirm him as CIA director? It looks like all the trolls have left now, so we have to ourselves. The trolls come in quickly and they leave just as quickly because they see that this is not a place, it's a respectful place. They will buck at anything. Absolutely, Dee. Absolutely. But I don't know who you would get to run the VA that everybody is going to be satisfied with. One Fred. Hey, one Fred. Good to see you. So, you know, but again, what does this surprise anybody? I mean, the public character assassination. If he had said after the medical examination that President Trump wasn't in that great of shape, that mentally, oh, we don't know, we can't tell, or there's some discrepancies here, but it looks okay now without further, exploration, they would have loved him. Gout in my knee. Oh, sorry about that, Fred. Hope for you get better faster with that. Ugh. But because Jackson wouldn't play along and play the game, then now he paid the price for it. So there you go. So as I said, it is Flotus's birthday. Happy Flotus birthday. I think she's 48 today. Gorgeous as always. 48 looks good on her. It is not on Twitter being trended. If this were Michelle Obama, it would have started last night. So just saying. They can't even do that without bringing politics into it. They don't like Melania, no matter what she does. They don't like her. She looks stunning wearing a white hat. What do? They have to make fun of it and say, "Oh, she looks like this. She looks like that." You know, it's ridiculous. Who doesn't have a past in government? I know, Brandon. Dee said they made me sick. I know. It is pathetic. It really is pathetic. Speaking of pathetic, I have something here that Jim Acosta from CNN talked about yesterday. As you know, he can't go into the White House briefing without making a fool of himself, which he did again yesterday. He seems to want to do whatever he can to get on Sarah Sanders' nerves. I think that's just his job. So yesterday, here's what he said. The left hates anything with class. Yes, they do, Fred. They do. Because again, Fred, why is that? Or morals, yes, because they are totally against those things, but they will use that against the right every time. Lead up to the Antichrist, whom everyone will love. Yeah, Brandon, it's true. It's true. Hello, Jerry. So CNN's Jim Acosta trashed the intellect of Americans in an interview he did with Variety magazine. And here's what he said. The problem is that people around the country don't know it's an act. Acosta said of Trump labeling some news outlets fake news. They're not in on the act, and they take what he says very seriously, and they take attacks from Sean Spicer and Sarah Sanders and what they do to us on a daily basis very seriously. Poor Jimmy Acosta, having to blame Sarah Sanders and Sean Spicer, who's been gone how long now, on the fact that people believe that they're fake news. They have no responsibility for it or accountability at all. I believe the White House should identify propaganda news organizations and ban them from coming. Brandon, that's not going to happen. The First Amendment would overrule that. They would protest until they got back in, because they have a First Amendment right to be there. And I understand that. They absolutely do. But they also need to be professional, which they're not. They also want to blame the president for the fact, oh, you're hurting our First Amendment rights. No, you're being difficult, let's say, is hurting your First Amendment rights. But slander and lies going against the First Amendment. Yep. Did I miss the prayers? Yes, you did, Lynn. We already did that. I read Proverbs, chapter 11, part of it. So, that's what Acosta thinks of you. That you just don't have the intellect. You're just too stupid to understand what's going on. And you're too stupid to believe the president and follow him. He's a complete dingleberry, and that's being kind. Yep. That's right, one Fred. Back of the room for you, put them into timeout. Exactly, Lisa. Was watching Pelosi handling kids' questions. What a laugh. I can't even look at her anymore. Hey, Teresa. Hello again, Susan, and everyone. Yeah, I can't watch her. When I see that they're on, I just keep moving on. Scott Pruitt is residing in the Senate also, and boy, are they cruel. They are hoping for all his cabinet to resign. Yes, just that. That's why I don't like to watch these hearings, because they're nothing but attacks. It isn't trying to get to the bottom of anything, trying to get to the truth. It is about hammering somebody until they say uncle and get out. That's what it is. But it's frustrating to watch these people, because again, we are always leading from the rear. We're never 2 steps ahead. Dog and pony show for sure, Marlene said. And I mean, we're never on the ones that are proactive. We're always the one on defense all the time. And it's ridiculous. Now, I heard that Giuliani went and spoke with Mueller, and they had a sit down yesterday. And part of the reason that Giuliani came on board is he wanted to talk to Mueller and say, what do we need to do here? Let's get this wrapped up. My thoughts are this. I don't know if this happened. I wasn't there. Nobody's reporting this. Here's what I think may have happened. I think he went in and he started talking to him and said, gosh, we don't want this to go on forever. We never expect the stupid things people come up with, Alan said. We don't want this to go on forever. What do we need to do to shut this down? Because what I'm afraid of is that next we're going to be looking at Uranium 1 and Hillary's role in it. And oh, by the way, weren't you also the FBI director at that time? And well, see, we want to move ahead. So what do we need to do? So my point is, he may have very gingerly brought up the subject of, if we don't shut this down, then we're going to go full bore against you guys. Now, if that conversation did take place or one like it, it leads me to believe that if we get this Mueller thing shut down, we're not going to do any investigations on our own. We're going to shut this down, and it's going to be, okay, we just need to move the country forward now and move ahead. I don't know if that's true, but again, I feel that way. CNN town hall for Comey was hilarious. He's not a hero, he's a leaker. But he doesn't think he's a leaker, and he said, I'm not a leaker. I just gave a bit of information as a private citizen to someone who I knew would put it out into the public eye. He's very much using the legalistic terms. You have to listen to what he says. It's lawyer speak again. Even though he may be a private citizen at the time because he was fired or got fired, it seems to me, number one, that he wasn't a private citizen at that time. I don't think he'd been fired yet. But even if he was a private citizen, there are things that he learned as an FBI director that he can't give out, like classified information. I don't care if he's a private citizen. If he learned that information as an FBI director, and he did. The only reason he was talking to the president at the time was because he was an FBI director. Come on, Jim. Happy birthday to your blessed and beautiful FLOTUS. Thanks, Josette. So, I mean, Comey, the more he talks, the more people should be taking notes about, okay, we're going to use this against him, and this against him, and this against him. So I'm really hoping, when the time comes that he and McCabe are going to go head to head. Isn't there a clause that states that cannot discuss those things even after service? Yes, Brandon. I had a top secret clearance, not a top secret, a secret clearance at one time. And those things that I learned as a secret clearance, I think I couldn't reveal for at least 5 years after my service. Private or not, the needs to be aware of security. Lee said, good morning, Monique. So yeah, he knows that. He knows that he can't go around talking about stuff like that. He just does it and nobody calls him on it. I mean, hey Danielle, they know that we are reactive, not proactive. And so they know everything that they say, and think about this. Everything that they do and say is pretty well thought out. All to sell his books. What a sleazy person. And Brandon, he doesn't even need the money. You know that he has money. I'm just saying, from doing things, for certain people, and he's gotten paid for it. Data Protection Act is 100 years, Lee said. Oh, 100 years for the Data Protection Act. Woo! That's a long time. Comey is the same as Stormy trying to stay relevant. Exactly, Brandon. And in some ways, kind of comparable, I mean, he's selling something else, but he's still selling something, isn't he? And I'm not talking about his book. So there were people who thought that Trump shouldn't have gone on Fox and Friends today. I thought that I didn't see what he said. Teresa got it. Selling books versus selling body. Yeah, but, sometimes selling soul versus body, you gotta, which one? I didn't see Fox and Friends with President Trump on there. And like I said, some people felt he shouldn't have gone on there. But I heard what he said. He said that Comey, he felt is guilty of crimes and warns the DOJ that he won't stay away from, forever. Meaning that the DOJ hasn't adequately scrutinized Comey and everybody else. Trump was on fire. He was great, a real brawler. And a lot of people think, oh, well, he shouldn't have gone in there because if he does that and he talks about Cohen or he talks about Mueller or something like that, it's only going to get him in trouble. But, I understand that, but it hasn't gotten him in trouble. Hey, Barbara. It may someday get him in trouble, but, so far it hasn't. Left has their interns working overtime digging up dirt on folks. Oh, you bet it. My mother held a Q clearance in the EC. She does not talk about it. She's 91, Patrick said. Why Obama went on everything. Yeah, Obama, nobody minded when Obama went on Ellen. Obama went on, late night programs. Even Michelle went on those. But that was okay. But Trump going on Fox and Friends, for some, wasn't okay. I don't know. I think it stirs up his base every time he does that. He needs his base to be stirred up. He needs people to understand that they need to get out and vote. There is a high anticipation that the FBI texts hold life threats to POTUS. Wouldn't you be mad too? Yeah, I heard that. That's a rumor going around, JDH. So we'll see if that rumor proves true. Hi, Susan. I'm driving. Will be listening. And once I get home, because I can see you but not hear you, was hoping I'd be able to just listen hands-free. No problem, Monique. Yeah, so we'll see. There is a rumor going around about the fact that some of these conversations mentioned a potential threat to the president. We'll see if that occurs. Again, I don't like to talk about rumors. I like to talk about facts. And when I see the facts and have more information on that, then it'll be time to talk about it. So you'll be interested to know that the University of Utah has installed a cry closet for all those people that have gone, through a stressful finals week. Now you won't have to worry. You can go into the cry closet and you'll be able to work things out. Oh, dear Lord. We have raised a generation. Yeah, facts over feelings. That's right. We've raised a generation of people that absolutely cannot handle themselves. What about a prayer closet? Oh, God, no, Teresa. Not on property where it's a public property. We can't have that. Let's not even talk about the G word on public property. Woo. Yeah. What I would do if I were in that cry closet, I think I would go in there and put posters up all over about Jesus saves. And, I know, Wayne, you go into it now. Macron is a stabbing globalist and Congress is an embarrassment. Noel, that's, yeah, pretty much. They need a size 10 steel tip boot right in the Yahoo. I know. What is wrong with people? Lee, it's called being allowed to be a snowflake, having no backbone, and having no responsibility for what it is that you just did. It's always somebody else's fault, not your own. You should be, coddled your whole life. I don't know. Maybe that's enough. We all could see it coming with Macron. Yeah, President Trump sees it coming with Macron. He's not fooled by Macron. Just because they like each other or happen to get along doesn't mean that Trump is going to drop everything and do what Macron wants him to do. That's a padded room. Yep. A spoiled generation. Yep. Barbara. Well, and that's, there are some really great millennials and younger. They really are. But the generation as a whole, I think, unfortunately, we've kind of lost them. When it comes to some things, not everything. A spoiled generation with bad parents who had parents who raised them that way, Brandon. It's the cycle. The cycle that isn't broken. Has Trump said anything about Macron's speech? No. What about Macron's hand sign? What was it? I didn't see it. Carmen, lock on the outside of the door. Yeah, can you really, if you're a snowflake, can you go inside a room and close the door? Is that safe? I mean, is it okay to close the door? What if you can't figure out how to get back out? Who's going to help you? Put a dunce hat on them. Yeah, leave one in there for the next person and the next person and the next person. Yeah, I didn't see that, Carmen. I don't know if that's just, again, a rumor or fact. I don't know. But, I mean, if you're going to close the door, you got to understand, what if you can't get back out? And I mean, if there's a handle on the door, but that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean because there's a handle on the door that it's going to work when you turn it, right? I mean, wouldn't that be the logic? So, I don't know. Maybe we should put a curtain up there and hope they can find their way out of the curtain. Just saying. We got to make it as easy as possible because we don't want to get any stress into their lives. Elevator music in the background. Yeah, quiet elevator music in the background. Yeah, but, we got to figure out what is appropriate with the elevator music. Push to open. Now, Wayne, that's too difficult. If you're telling somebody to push to open, what if they want to pull? What if today they feel like pulling the door rather than pushing? See, you're putting your judgment in their place and telling them they need to follow your judgment of pushing the door. I mean, come on, Wayne. Instructions on the door. Brandon, why should they have to read instructions? If it's a government manual, okay. Other than that, I don't know why you're pushing your beliefs and your instructions. Yeah, read, I know. Lynn, can you believe that Brandon would again, isn't he's putting his own opinion and his own everything on this. I mean, you're making people read. I don't get that kind of hypocrisy there, Brandon, and the fact that video on the screen, don't have to read. Maybe that's a little bit better. I think that's less intrusive, Brandon. That might be okay. but just make sure that it's not, anything that your image is that you want. Make it something appealing to those people who are stressed out about finals week. Some cartoons, there you go. Just figure it out. It's called Try, Work, Succeed. The hard things in life grows up for the better. Jules, that's just horrible what you just said. You have no you have no understanding of people's feelings. We need to always remember France is always a love-hate relationship with USA. Barbara, and again, he knows that. The president knows that. And I don't think he's fooled by Macron any more than he's fooled by Jerry Brown, What a thought. I know. I think all you people putting your thoughts about what these people should do is just horrible. And that is so stressful they'll have to go back into the closet. Baby Macron on his way home, now Mama Merkel on her way to push globalism again. Yep. Oh my God, she said that, Wayne said. Yeah, all this push, pull signs. Shame on you, Wayne. Shame on you. Maybe if you're a parent that has one of these people living in your garage, you should have more sympathy and empathy for them. How about giving them wine after their finals? How about during their finals? Hello, how are you, OM3? I started something. I know, Wayne, you did. Ooh. Midget Macron in his corner versus towering Trump. Ding, ding, ding. Let's rumble. Jerry said, yes, of course, he can like him, but disagree and things, being lost. Barbara, when I was practicing attorney, we used to go into the courtroom. We would have practically knocked down, drag out verbal arguments with the other attorneys and then walk out and we were talking to each other. Sometimes we were friends or we'd have coffee together. And it doesn't mean that I gave up my point of view or they gave up their point of view, but it was what we were paid to do going in there. But neither one of us were changed, but we could still, at the end of the day, kind of shake hands and go on about our business. Candyman could help them before finals. Hey, there you go, Brandon. Maybe that's a new position, and that would be okay in a university, right? That there's nothing wrong with that. And maybe a guy who sells pot on the side. I don't know that it's legal in Utah, but if it were, I know that's supposed to be the way, Barbara. Exactly. Yeah, you're supposed to be able to have various and varying opinions and still get along. If everybody could, would you please retweet this? We are past the halfway point by a while. I forgot when the halfway point came. If you could retweet it, I would appreciate it. My kids sleep well, eat well, exercise, prepare for tests, and stress. Hello, Jules said. Well, Jules, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I really think that your children are deprived. If they had a cry closet, perhaps they would be better. Used to have dim friends, not so much anymore. Exactly. Not anymore. Room 420 graduates. There you go, Cully. So you should hear how Juan Williams is saying Candace Owens and Kanye that they're both empty and hollow. He has gone over the deep end. That's Juan Williams I don't even listen to. Juan Williams is like, who? Soundproof the doors so they can cry loudly. Yep. I don't have Democrat friends either. Yeah, I don't know. I think, Jules, I think you've just gotten this all wrong. You're trying to teach your children to be responsible and independent. Shame on you, Jules. Shame on you. They should all have a cry room, a cry closet that should be located in their rooms, and then whatever school you're sending them to. Obviously, you're sending them to a good school in your opinion, that doesn't have a cry closet, and I think you're going to be, you're going to have regrets on that. When they're out getting a good job, Jules, after they graduate and they do well in society and in life, you're going to have regrets. Government wants to own the kids? Absolutely, Brandon. Lock, stock, and barrel. Make them dependent upon the government. I'm not a Carl Jungian person. I need a cry closet. Yep, there you go, Lynn. And then when they go to work, these people need to have a cry closet installed at their jobs, okay? That ought to be mandatory. My professor took me into a lab closet. I was thinking, oh no, then he said, can we pray? Oh, Teresa, that must have been a horrible experience for you praying there. I was feeding my son and listening in the background. What did Jim Acosta do? Well, basically, Junior, he said that we're all idiots. We don't have the intellect to be smart. He says, and we can give them a prayer war room. Exactly. But that won't be acceptable. We can't have a room in which to pray. Oh, gosh, no. Next will be fines for parents who don't have a cry closet. Well, Fred, shouldn't that be already the case? I mean, seriously. Gosh, the Paragods hate me when I have to go out and in. Barbara, other people are having to do that. Other people can't find me at all, you know. He's the idiot. Sarah tore him a new one yesterday. She did, Junior, as always. And you should have seen the left attacking her. Oh, that's Sarah. She's so rude. My mom would say, I'll give you something to cry about. I know, Brandon. And my mom did give us something to cry about. Oh. Yeah, but yeah, we can do anything in college. We can have the cry closet and all that stuff. We can be coddled. But if you mention God, get out of here. Then Bernie will save the day and promise everyone will get a free one. That's right, Fred. Bernie's new cry for the Democrats and the independents, he's going to give away free stuff for you. Free stuff. So if you want to vote for Democrats, you're going to get free stuff. I mean, they did that under Obama. We have a cry closet at home. It's called a bedroom. That's right, Lisa. Oh, my gosh. And poor Kanye West trying to talk sense into people, saying that, you know, okay, Junior, see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Glad you came in. Kanye trying to tell everybody, hey, look, you know, you can love Trump. It's okay. You know, he's kind of like our brother. He can be a brother. But, you know, that's not all right. Also, hi, Drew. Also, when he was talking about that, the rapper came on, and the rapper said, you know, blacks don't have to be Democrats. But then he kind of followed that up with, you know, the next president's going to be independent. You know, so he was trying to test the waters. Free jobs, $15 an hour, guarantee $1,000 a month per person too. But wait, who pays? Exactly. Well, it won't be Bernie, that's for sure. Because Bernie will sit in his mansion, along with the other people will sit in their mansions. Kids in the 60s, yep. I'm leery if Kanye broken clock is right twice a day. Yeah, I'm leery of Kanye too, because in my opinion, Kanye said some pretty outlandish, over-the-top things, and some of the things he says to get attention. However, he's been a Trump supporter now for a while, and even before he became president. Chief Queen Warren will save them. Exactly. Somebody told me last night there was a meeting in California about sanctuary cities, and that a person from Kamala Harris's office came to the meeting and started handing out her business cards to the people on the council. And it wasn't even Kamala Harris's district. So you have to know, in my mind, what she's doing is, again, it's like, oh, I'm preparing to be your president, so I want to know what's going on. Free TPs for everyone, Fred said. Yeah, she could, you know, she could have those TPs probably for free, Fred, if she really wanted to do a DNA test to prove that she's a Native American. Kamala needs to take a seat. Kamala needs to just go away. She's a horrible speaker. If you've ever heard her even on Ellen's show, the woman is just... the only time that she speaks, and she's just like, oh God, I can see her face. I can't think of her right now. Can't think of the woman that she took money from her daughter. L.A. Why can't I think of her name? Oh my gosh, that's terrible. Kamala's so far left, she's in the back. Yep. She was disrespectful on the... Yes, she was on Ellen's show. Very disrespectful to the president. I'm trying to think of the woman's name, you know, reclaiming my time. Why I can't think of her name right now. It so went out of my... Maxine Waters. Thank you. Jeez. I told you, I am still not awake on this Thursday morning. She and Maxine just need to go away. But if when they start talking, when they are going after somebody tooth and nail, like the president or somebody on the Senate floor or somebody on their committee, they can really speak intelligently. Kamala was the girlfriend of Mayor Willie Brown. Bob said, well, if you call being a girlfriend to a married man, if that's the same thing, then okay, I guess you could call her girlfriend. But hey, Mike, I don't blame you for forgetting. I know I put these people out of my head, Daniel, as much as I can. And then, but when I need to think of their names, I can't think of them. Thursday, I thought it was Friday. Yep, I know. Wayne, telling you, it seems like Friday every day. Daniel Perlman and other reporters lost their lives while doing their jobs, or should I say murdered, what Jim Acosta's beef he could move to North Korea and see what it feels like. No, he wouldn't last 5 seconds there. They need to be medically evaluated. They do, but again, it's always the left calling the right crazy, all the time, and they don't look at themselves. And everything that they accuse the right of doing, it's things that they do on the left, but they're okay with it. Oh, I'm sorry, Maxine, I forgot you were there. You may go now. I know, Alan, I can't stand the woman. I just can't stand. She and Kamala are like two peas in a pod, and then add Cory Booker in there, and then you have 3, I was going to say Fruit Loops. I mean, they are just like woohoo out there. Maybe they have their own Candyman. Could be. Wasn't there a rumor recently? We were talking about was a few months back about how there were so many people in Congress taking pills. Remember that? Some for, I thought they said Alzheimer's or whatever. And that conversation was dropped quickly. Maxine Big Mouth Bass Waters, Daniel said, don't forget Pelosi. Oh, gosh. Oh, see, I try to forget, and you just bring them back, Lisa. I try to forget that woman, too. Yep, put her in there. There would really be a concise 4 peas in a pod. Those people are so much alike. Ugh. And yet, they're still in Congress. And Feinstein. Feinstein, though, a place for mom. Hey, Georgia. Feinstein is one of those people. She's not crazy like the others. And she's kind of being quiet. Pelosi was chewing cud again today. No. Jerry, how can you watch her? Yeah, there's a congressional pharmacist saw interview somewhere, Noel said. So, Noel, I mean, I wonder how many pills that person is handing out. Can we, maybe we should investigate that, right? We want to investigate everything else. You guys heard about Joy Reid's scandal on her Twitter account bashing gays. She says someone hacked her account. Funny, not a peep from the media. Exactly, just said. I heard that. I watched it for comedy. It was a hoot. I can't even watch it for comedy anymore because it would be funny if these people weren't so much in the deep state and trying to regain power. I forgot what I was taking the pills for, Wayne said. I don't take pills. I stay away from medication as much as I can. That's just me, though. They manipulate vulnerable groups, Brandon said. Oh, it's just horrible to watch. Horrible to watch. And speaking of horrible to watch, that New Jersey Port Authority commissioner had to resign because she thought that she was going to intimidate 2 police officers who were doing their job and doing it well. And we're back, Barbara said. And you got kicked out again, Barbara. And I can't believe, they held their cool. They really did. I know, what a great lady. Yeah, bless her heart. Right, Brandon? Hey, Eric. Call me commissioner. Don't call me miss. I'm commissioner. Okay. Not anymore, you're not. And the police officers were absolutely correct. They said, go over there and ask the driver who is an adult. And I'll tell you, if the police officers had given her what she wanted, then you would have heard everybody saying, that guy was an adult. Why would they give out information like that? I don't know how they didn't put her in cuffs right away. I know, Brandon, or just do a takedown on her or something. It's like, yeah, and the police officer kept saying, could you back up? I'm backing up as far as I can, and you keep coming, basically getting in my face. Taser time, Jerry said. They were so patient, Lisa. I know. Ugh. And the woman just thought, she was just going to go in there, make them just say, okay, everything's okay. You have your way. Everybody can go on their way, and you won't have to, pay a fine or do anything. Yeah, it was ridiculous. But, they were commended for their behavior, and she resigned because of hers. So at the end of the day, justice was served, right? Uh, let's see. There was sad thing is that she thought that was normal behavior. Yep, she's done that before. I'm sure she'll continue to do that, Brandon. Even though she's no longer the commissioner, it'll be, I'm a friend of Hillary Clinton. Well, you can't tell me what to do. These people need to be put in their places. They've been far too long throwing their weight around. I wonder if she can afford her daughter's Ivy League school now. Ha! Good point, Lisa. You discussed baby Alfie. I was going to get to that, Jerry. There's a baby in the UK, Alfie, what's his last name? Alfie Evans. And this baby has some type of disorder or whatever. They don't even know exactly what's wrong with him. And so they decided, the UK judges decided, the court did there in the UK, to take him off the respirator, hoping, he would die because, well, he's just not of value anymore because they don't know what's wrong with him. So what I know, former blah blah blah. So what they did was the Pope reached out and said, let him come here to Italy. They even made him an Italian citizen, hoping that they could get him into Italy to try to give him some treatment to find out what's wrong with him and to save his life. And the UK said, nope, absolutely not. Basically, the baby's going to, basically die right here. They offered a helicopter flight, everything. Now, when they took the baby, I saw the video, they took the baby off of the respirator, and he was fine. I mean, he has a problem wrong with one eye, but he was breathing, he was alert, he was sucking on his little pacifier. It was heartbreaking, Lisa. It was heartbreaking. And they won't let him go. And they refused to give him water for 6 hours. Now, you tell me how the UK can do that without somebody punishing them for that conduct. You deprived a child, a living, breathing child who is aware of his surroundings, it appears. You denied him water for 6 hours. To me, that is absolute. That hospital should be closed down. Abortion has created this lack of value of life. These are the death panels the GOP warned us of. Refused oxygen. He breathed on his own. Yep, parents gave him CPR. And he's still breathing on his own and everything else. And they won't allow him to leave the hospital. Now they're starving a living human being. That's right, Jules. It's absolutely incredible. And why won't they let him go? Doctors create different, Rhonda. It's the UK. It isn't the United States. But it's socialized medicine. It's a way for society to say, when we deem that you are no longer a benefit to society, you need to die. Yep, vote people out, or it could come to here. Lisa, it will eventually. It will. They are murderers, Danielle. I believe that. UN needs to step in. Pfft. Step in what? They probably sanction it. They probably like it. Send those people and watch him die. I know, Wayne. And somebody made a good point. I saw somebody on social media that said, now what if this were Kate Middleton and Prince William's baby? Do you think this baby would be treated the same way? Yep. Yahweh or Yeshua, Jesus has something to say about this. Yeah. Yeah, no way. That baby would be given the best care he could possibly get, or she. And when he does, the slate will be clean. Yep. Talk about playing God. I mean, that is exactly what they're doing. They are deciding when and if a child or an adult should live, for that matter. It's all socialized medicine. They don't want the baby to go over to Italy because then other people will want to start doing that too. And free to royals, yeah. UK hated Syria, gassing the kids, and this story comes out. Exactly. That's why the world is so upside down. Yes, baby Alfie's story is so sad. The media only talking the newest royal, which is fine, but what about him if he was on the royals? I wonder if anyone would care. This is socialized medicine. Sick elderly have no value. Exactly. Jerry, this is Margaret Sanger all over again. This is eugenics. This is, instead of just getting rid of black babies, this is getting rid of all babies that they have deemed are no longer beneficial to society, and that applies to. I'm sure that some would try to do that with Down syndrome babies. I mean, and any other babies with different infirmities. What if he was a MP's kid? Sounds like Germany all over again. I know, Jerry. I can't imagine, honestly, what God is thinking about. God's Views on Political News with Susan Knowles and Bill Cloud, Tuesdays at 10. Watch the replay. Oh, and I want to tell you guys now, and I'll put it out soon, because of Bill's schedule, and Teresa, you might want to note this, we're going to have Monday at 1 o'clock Pacific time, so that's 4 o'clock Eastern time. We're going to do a God's Views on Political News on Monday at 4 Eastern due to Bill's schedule. He can't do it on Tuesday this week. But here in America, hospitals cannot refuse. Yeah. The story was covered by Dr. Alveda King, The Tale of Two Babies. It was powerful, really sad. Yeah. No problem, Teresa. Yeah, I mean, I just can't imagine what God is thinking. I don't know how God can be this patient with us. I really don't know. Have William or Kate ever even expressed sympathy? Probably because they aren't supposed to talk about politics, Julia said. Yep. How can docs sleep at night? I don't know, Brandon. Yeah, it would be, Julia, they have to stay quiet about that. They can only talk about the birth of their baby and how well he is. He has to be crying. I know, Rhonda. Susan, were you on Periscope with Bill Cloud as I missed it? Danielle, we are on Facebook Live. I haven't put it on Periscope. It takes too much of my time to try to put it on Periscope right now. Remind you on Monday. Wayne, I was hoping you would remind me. But Jerry, you can go see it on YouTube. It's on YouTube. It's also on my SusanKnowles.com. You didn't get it? You didn't get... Well, Jerry, it's on Facebook. It's on God's Views on Political News page. I listened to it on podcast on Google Play. Brandon said, cool. Yeah, I guess maybe it goes over there from Spreaker. I'm not sure how it gets there. Did the baby die? Not yet, Barbara. I pray that God makes Alfie a strong warrior for him one day. Well, Carmen, if he lives, Oh, okay, it does go there. Okay. Remember to share. Yes, please, share the show. We're trying to build the show. Set an alarm. That's the only way I remember, Marlene said. Prayers to Alfie and his family, everyone. Absolutely. If Princess Diana was alive, I'm sure she would have said something. I think so too, Josette. I really do. No, Alfie is holding on. Prayers for miracle for him. Yeah, Jerry, and how long before they decide, well, we're just not going to feed Alfie? Even though he's doing well, how long is it going to be before they decide, well, we said that we want him to die, so therefore, we're not going to feed him. They would have to kill me to keep me from taking my baby out. Barbara, they would, and they would arrest you. They would have no qualms about doing that. It's just so sad. I mean, it's so sad. This could happen here if we don't get serious about health care reform. Yep. I would too, Barb, Jerry said. I heard he's not being fed. Jules, I think they withheld food for a while, but I thought he was getting fed. And they withheld water for 6 hours, and they started giving him water again. So I don't know. I don't know for sure. And we probably won't know until they've, starved him to death. And I don't know how you don't call that cruelty. Could we send in black ops to get him out? Well, we could, but we're not going to because, the UK, they're our ally. Breaks my heart, Jerry says. Me too. It's like a political prison. Yes. Have a blessed day. You too, Brandon. And it was just like with Justina Pelletier. I mean, they took her away in the Boston hospital and told her parents, if you want a second opinion, we're going to take your kid away from you. And that's what they did. A little different situation in that she was fed and given water and all that. But they took her away from her parents like that because they wanted a second opinion. So you have to be careful. You know, there were demonstrations outside the hospital. I heard that the Americans were going to go over to UK and we're going to demonstrate outside of Alfie's hospital. So let's hope that that happens. Animals probably get better care if injured in the UK. Maybe so, Jerry. Maybe so. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. Please retweet this. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you tomorrow. This was a very fast hour. Hey, Barbara, if you would again, please retweet this. I'll see you tomorrow. God bless you. Take care, and we'll be back tomorrow. Thank you, everybody on YouTube. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless.